build, and this build is going to focus on firebolt grenades. Now, these firebolt grenades cause lots of ignitions, and I'm going to hop into this GM and quickly show you, because they are so powerful and they can clear Grandmaster level ads in no time. So here, let's show you what these firebolts can do.
We've received intel that Brachus Zahn is supplying weapons to the Shadow Legion.
I think we've cleared everything. We've cleared everything bar the champion. Cleared everything. Now, that was pretty easy work. Not too much of a fuss. And the firebolt grenades are great. So what's happening here is these two mods are making firebolts really good at the minute. So firebolt grenades apply more scorch stacks. What it doesn't actually tell you is that if you get a direct hit, it is an automatic ignition. So direct hits with a firebolt grenade automatically cause an ignition, 100 scorch stacks. And also, if you damage an enemy with one, you also get a fire sprite. This pairs well with this, because Solar Surge is collecting a fire sprite, gives you an armor charge, which is great. And then you've got Rain of Firebolts, which also means you get a second firebolt grenade. So if we nip on to my aspects and fragments, so we've got firebolt grenade, of course, and I use Celestial Fire. You can use Incinerator Snap, but I like the more targeted approach for Celestial Fire in case I'm looking to apply Scorch Stacks on a certain enemy or certain amount of enemies at a distance. For my aspects, I've got Icarus Dash. I like this for the maneuverability, and it also gets me out of tricky situations. You can use Heat Risers, but you don't really want to be consuming your grenades because you want to be throwing it. However, if you are in the air, you do get melee energy when you get final blows, in the air. So it does have its perks, but I prefer Icarus Dash over this. And Touch of Flame, so your firebolt has an increased search area, and it also can hit an extra target as well, which is great. Which is really plays into the firebolts that we're using. As for the fragments, we've got Ember of Char, so Solar Ignition spread Scorch to other targets. It also boosts your discipline, so if you're low on your discipline, it also tops it up a little bit, because we want to be running 100 discipline. Ember of Blistering, defeating targets with ignitions grants grenade energy. Ember of Ashes, apply more Scorch stacks. And Ember of Eruption, your Solar Ignitions have increased area. Now this one can be swapped out a little bit, so things like Ember of Resolve, so your grenade final blows cure you, because we're chucking that many, just helps keep your survivability up. You've also got Ember of Wonder, rapid defeating targets with ignitions, creates an overpower, also increases your resilience, so overall really good as well. And Ember of Searing, defeating scorched targets, grants melee energy and creates fire sprite. Because we are scorching a lot of things, it's also a good fragment to use. Now the exotic I paired with this build is Dawn Chorus. It's just neutral game of this is great because it just increases your scorch damage, it increases the scorch duration. You also get melee energy back. It gives you Daybreak scorching effects as well. So I think this just complements the build really well. The weapon that I'm pairing with this is Prometheus Lens, so it has Incandescent as a catalyst. Also laying the trigger on this applies Scorch to enemies, so it's a really good weapon to top off your Scorch stacks and hopefully cause some extra ignitions. Now for my primary weapon, I did have Rufus's Fury here. I only have Chattering Bone for this Nightfall, but in my actual build I do use Rufus's Fury. It's just a feel-good weapon. It feels really good to fire, and it also has Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie, which is great chucking our grenades. So we're going to get our grenades back with Demolitionist, and getting kills with our grenades as well. Boost the damage of this through Adrenaline Junkie. So we have a look at our mods. So we've got Ashes to Assets because we're throwing lots of grenades, getting lots of grenade kills as well as ignitions. We're going to get lots of super energy through the orbs that. Sorry, we're going to get lots of super energy just for the kills. Harmonic Siphon, so Solar Siphon because we're using Prometheus Lens. Rapid Final Blows with Prometheus Lens are going to give us an orb of power, which is what we're going to use for our armor charges. Heavy Ammo Finder can be swapped out. You got Dynamo, you can go double ashes, you can go an extra harmonic siphon to get a increased potency of your orb. So this can be swapped out depending on what you're doing. Onto the gauntlets, we've got firepower. So this grenade finder blows gives you orbs of power, because like I said, chucking lots of grenades, lots of kills, lots of orbs. Our armor charges are going to be used for grenade kickstart. This is just everything just to feed back into these grenades. They are so powerful at the minute. We want them, we want as much uptime on our firebolts as possible. And fastball, this can easily be swapped out. I love using fastball, but easily swapped out for another grenade kickstart, momentum transfer, impact induction, or even another firepower just to get extra potency in your orb again. But yeah, easily swap out fastball for any of those. Onto the chest, we've got a resistant mod. This can be any resistant mod, anything that the weekly surges or anything like that. So this can be any sort of resistant mod. Charged up, just so we can increase the amount of armor charges we can carry. So now we can carry a maximum of 4. Onto our boots, so we've got double innovation. This again, because we're creating ours through our firepower, through our solar siphon. This is just to keep those grenades topped up, so we have as much uptime as we can. And I've got solar weapon surge on for my Prometheus lens. Again, can also be swapped out. Can be used for something like better already, recuperation. Again, with the fragment that cures you when you get grenade final blows, which then drops an orb, which then you pick up get your health back. It's just keeping you alive, so it's good for survivability, recuperation, and better already. Or you can swap it out for something like absolution or go triple innovation. This is a very flexible mod slot that you can put here, but I've gone for solar weapon surge for the time being. And on my bonds, we've got bomber, double bomber, should I say? Again, getting class when you use your class ability, you get grenade entry back. And Reaper, using your class ability, then gives you an orb of power when you get a kill, which then feeds back into everything. Everything is just feeding back into grenades, just so we can get off as many ignitions as we can. So this is pretty much the builds. You saw at the beginning how many ignitions we were popping off. Cleared, what, 5, 6 ads in 1 grenade, 2 grenades, and then just had to kill the champion. But it was just so easy. I didn't find my weapon, nothing. It is a really good build. There's a lot of eye clear potential in this build, and I would highly recommend you give it a try out. But thank you.